Hello everybody, Typhoon LordGrief here, and today we're going to be playing Neverwinter Nights. So yay. I haven't played this game in quite a while, nor have I ever played the Shadows of the Undertide, Undren-tide? Because it's not Under, it's Ren, Undren-tide, and Hordes of the Underdog. And we're going to be completing all of these in this, Neverwinter Nights, me playing games thing. Alright, so we're going to start with the Prelude. Now, I beat the main story once, and that was quite some time ago. I'm gonna be a male. For me, my favorite options in this game to choose is usually just human, but that's because I usually play as a fighter, so take that as you will. I might play as a dwarf, but I don't like being short. I feel like that's a petty reason, and it really is, but I don't like being short. Mind you, the dark vision is totally worth it. Is this. Now what I'm going to be playing today is a half-elf, because it means I don't have to be a full elf, so I don't have to hate myself. And it also means that I will be able to, be immune to sleep still, which is very useful, seeing as I play with the D&D hardcore rules. I like how they call it hardcore, even though it's just you playing by the actual rules of D&D. Let's see, let's choose me a picture here. A lot of okay enough pictures. It looks so intense, like it's about to strangle you. How about a generic? As for classes, this one took me a bit to decide upon, but I'm going to be playing as a sorcerer, because it's probably the least boring class I could play as, other than the wizard. But really, I just wanted some kind of, magic and spells, so that I don't sit around and just, you know, tank and spank the entire time. Now, I've already gone over what I wanted for my stat spread. First things first, I don't need strength. I want this to be 14. And I like to even out a lot of my stats. It's a little bit of an OCD style thing, but I feel like it just looks nicer if I do. And I could set this up back there, but instead I'm just going to give myself some extra points of intelligence, and that way I have everything I need for being a sorcerer, including a dexterity bonus, which will help me, so I don't get the crap beat out of me. I'm going to be grabbing concentration, because concentration is actually really important. It means that if somebody walks up and just whacks me in the middle of combat, that I'm not going to just like cripple over and not be able to cast a spell. Now, if I'm playing myself properly, which I plan on doing, I shouldn't have to deal with that, but you never know. Spellcraft I use, because it tells me what spells are, but also every 5 ranks will give me saving throws against all spells, which will help me out later on, because this game ends up being save as suck. And for the last one, I think I'm going to choose lore, because I like lore. All it really does is it's just magical properties of an item, which you can actually pay for pretty easily if you wanted to. Appraise lets you the better price upon selling and purchasing goods, which is always good. But I'm gonna go with lore, because I'm a wizard. I could go with spot or search, but I'm hopefully not going to need to, because of how I plan on going about my game progression. Spell focus, conjuration, resistance, so that I can get bonuses to saving throws, light, so I can see in very dark environments, electric jolt, because you need something to attack, and daze, because daze is pretty cool. Mage armor, which is important for giving me defense, and summon creature. And that's all I need from there. And here's what I was talking about. I'm going to be choosing the pixie, because I went through all these earlier and decided on which one I wanted. And I'll kind of go over what each one does. The bat is just really a bat. They tell you what it does. And here it has some damage reduction, which is pretty good, actually. By the time you're level 5 damage reduction with a to anything but a +1 enchantment is pretty much useless to you. But take it as you will. Panther's the only one that actually does any real damage, but doesn't really get any better over time other than level-wise. Your Hellhound, I would always go with either the Raven or the Pixie, because they both can detect and do stuff. I usually go with the Pixie, because the Pixie can disable traps and turn invisible later on, at the penalty of you had to hear it. If I wasn't going for any form of mechanical thing, which, by the way, I do like the idea of having a Pixie, I would go probably with one of the dragons, because I like dragons. I like how the pseudo-dragon is a dragon. Just thought I'd note that. The pseudo-dragon is actually a dragon. So let's go with the Pixie, because I'm going to need it. Now, I'm not trying to optimize, because I'm sure anybody who's notices I'm not actually optimized in the slightest. I just have a few things I want out of this. So let's look through all the hairs here, while I'm in here. But I'm not a fan of working completely around optimum mechanics. It's just not my deal. So I'm not really going to talk about optimum mechanics here. I did choose a lot of my stuff based on mechanics, because sleep effects are some of the most powerful effects in D&D, because rendering somebody helpless is pretty goddamn effective. Alright, get some tattoos, because you're always going to have tattoos. I would be more plump if being more plump actually looked like you're more plump and, you know, weren't just, like, horribly disfigured. It looks even worse on the women if you do it. They just look like they're disfigured. This looks like an appropriate sorcerer. Yes, this shall be my sorcerer. Skin color. I have tons of colors. And a sorcerer stays inside all the time, so I'm going to choose a pale color. And that's the default. That's the more yellowed, which I prefer. Hair color. I always am a fan of going with the redder hair. There we go. That fiery mustache epicness. And these down here are metallic colors, which are some of my favorites. I like shiny objects. And we're going to go with some shiny black, with some either pure white or some pure silver. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. I like that.
Get on them! Attack, I say!
Oh god, we're on to the sounds. So I'm going to skip ahead to my favorite one real quick.
Attack! I say attack!
I love it so much. It's hilarious. High-strung evangelist. It's just hilarious to me that they would include this as a voice.
You are so gonna feel some wrath!
You are so gonna feel some wrath! This is great. I love it.
Back to wherever!
Could you imagine somebody yelling that in combat? That'd be fucking hilarious.
Time to spill some blood!
I want to see suffering.
I'm gonna go with that. That sounds like a good sorcerer. And let's go ahead and hop in.
The Frozen North, the name given to the stark and unforgiving frontier that lies beyond the high moor of Faerun. A bleak wilderness where barbarian clans and tribes of giants roam the land and fierce dragons rule the skies. But amidst the frozen savagery stands a bastion of civilization, the city of Neverwinter, Jewel of the North. Behind the city's high walls, those both hardy and brave carve out an existence from this bleak land under the guidance and protection of the legendary hero, Lord Nasher Alagonda. Yet there are some things that all the courage in the world cannot stand against. A virulent plague swept the city, a terrible affliction that began in the beggar's nest. Soon, all of Neverwinter would feel the touch of the wailing death. The disease could not be cured. Panic ensued. The streets erupted into violence. The Jewel of the North was brought to its knees. To save Neverwinter, Lady Aribeth de Tilmarand, Paladin of Tyr, and Lord Nash's right hand put forth the call for a champion. A rush of would-be heroes answered her call, some drawn by promises of grandeur and glory, others by the lure of gold. Those with the greatest potential were initiated into the academy to train and study under the greatest minds of Neverwinter, all in the hopes a champion might emerge to save the city from the Wailing Death, and whatever sinister force might be behind it.
So I believe it's worth mentioning that I absolutely love, and I mean love, the cutscenes in this game. I show up, I am the Sorcerer Supreme. I will get rid of the plagues. Alright, there's a club in here. I'm a sorcerer, I must have a club. Makes sense. Alright, so let's go through here and see what we're doing. Alright. Oh, there's a dusk in here. Some gold in here. So the first thing I do is I'm gonna loot everything. I'm a dick. If anyone's ever played D&D, you understand this is exactly how things go all the time. So I made a vow to actually do a story instead of skip it all. So Bim here.
Finally, you're up.
Wants to talk to me.
I was afraid you were going to sleep all day. I guess the instructors work you pretty hard here at the academy.
I suppose so.
My name's Pavel. I'm one of the new recruits. I just arrived here at the academy this morning.
Yeah, I am Lord Asset. Is it true what they say about you? Lady Aribeth herself ordered the academy to send an invitation to come here for training? I say very quickly. I've never heard of anyone being invited to train at the academy before. Usually people are begging to get in. It must be a great honor to you. Both an honor and privilege for me to serve Neverwinter when you have as much talent and skill as I do. It's both an honor and a privilege for me to serve Neverwinter. You're pretty modest for someone who's got such high expectations on him. It wasn't quite so easy for me to get into the academy. My brother Bim and I were working on one of the nearby farms outside the city when we heard Lady Aribeth had been put out a call for heroes to come to the aid of Neverwinter. One of these days I'll get my cadence right for this. We knew the city was suffering, but we didn't realize how bad things were until we got here. We arrived before they sealed the gates and quarantined the city. Thank the gods I got accepted into the academy. I wouldn't want to be out there in the streets with the plague, not with the city guards barely able to keep anyone in order. Keep in order anymore? Alright, let's try that. Whoops. What did you mean by the city guard barely able to keep order? Tell me about your brother. I'm not interested in... I don't actually know that much about the plague. The Wailing Death is a plague worse than any recorded in the history of Neverwinter. The whole city has been quarantined. Nobody's allowed in or out. The Neverwinter militia do their best to enforce the quarantine, but people don't like being trapped inside the walls of a plague-infested city. Every day, more bodies pile up in the streets, and the citizens move one step closer to panic and open rebellion. Can't say I blame them. It's only been a few months, and already the dead number in the thousands. Sounds like the whole city is doomed. Most people have given up any hope of finding a cure for the Wailing Death. Potions and medicinal herbs do nothing, and even the prayers of the city's most powerful clergy have been ineffective. I guess that's why Lady Aribeth ordered the academy to open its doors to new recruits. The city needs a hero, someone who can save us all from the Wailing Death. Do you know any more about these rumors of a cure? I never asked about the cure, but I'm gonna go with it. Word on the street is that Aribeth is actually working on a cure right here in the academy, but that's just a rumor, probably not even true. I only know what people are saying on the street. Some claim Erebeth has a cure and she's going to stop passing it out soon. Others claim she's keeping the cure for herself. But like I said, it's just rumors. Maybe some of the people who've been here at the Academy longer than I would know more about the cure, if there even is one. Anything else you can tell me? You could speak to my brother Bim over by the door if you want some tips on adventuring. Otherwise, you could go see awkard in the next room. He's the one in charge of equipping us all recruits for... words. He's the one in charge of equipping us all. Equipping all of us recruit... I can't work. Equipping all us recruits for training is what I'm trying to say. Other than that, I don't know what more to tell you. It's just a raw recruit here. You're the one who's almost finished his training. Goodbye. Yes, I suppose I need to get on with your training. You probably need to go speak to awkard in the next room. Get your equipment so you can take the final test and finish your training. If you want any tips or instruction on adventuring, then don't forget to say hi to my brother Bim on your way out. So that sound I make, that noise, is actually funny to me, because whenever I go and do editing for audio, I can see that so distinctly on Audacity that I could probably spot it on a monitor 3 blocks away.
I saw you talking to my brother Pavel. My name is Bim. If you want, I can give you a short tutorial on adventuring.
Alright, this basically covers all the movement controls. I don't really think I need to do this. It's not really part of the story. I'm pretty much going to be skipping most of tutorial if I don't feel like it has any real impact on the actual storyline. Look at that face. Look at that manly face. Alright. Here's the shop tutorial.
Hello there! Come to get yourself some supplies from old Olga, have you? Good idea. Can't have you wandering about the streets naked. Might give the Academy a bad name.
It just hit me. This guy sounds like, Pete from, Goofy Adventures. The city guards are having enough trouble maintaining control as it is. Plague bodies piled up a dozen deep in the gutters, the wailing death running unchecked through the districts. Horrible, I say! But you've heard all this before, I'm sure. Here, I've got some special equipment for you. A sorcerer like you might find it handy in completing your training. Now, if you're ready, I'll give you a tutorial on how to access your inventory so you can use the equipment I just gave you. I already know how to work my inventory. Well then, I guess we don't need to go over it, do we?
Oh, this might be a good time to teach you how to use the stores in the game. I have some items here you might want to purchase. Since you're part of the Academy, you get a special discount rate.
I need an adult. He's talking about fourth wall stuff. I don't need a tutorial. I'll look at the stuff anyways. Let's see, what did he give me? He gave me a robe of fire resistance. So now I'm gonna look way more majorly. But way less awesome. Let's sell everything I'm not going to use. I could use this. So I'm going to equip all that. I'm going to sell the damn dagger. I'm going to sell the club. I'm going to merge these together because it annoys me when they're not. Spells go down here. Alright, that looks a lot better now. Now, there should be something that I wanted to show people if they didn't patch it, which it looks like they did. It used to be, before the patching of the game, that the Paladin's tunic could be bought for 0 gold and then sold again for 1 gold. If you wanted to do an infinity gold thing with that, but that was probably patched with the HO2 1.19 patch, which I have to have for my thing to work. Really, there's just kind of your basic weaponry in here. If you ever want it, it'd be helpful if, like, you wanted to, like, get one of these really early on in the game, even though you probably couldn't afford it. But, you know, really this is mostly for tutorial purposes. Usually you'll find pretty much every bit of this in here. Now if you hit tab, it'll actually highlight all this too, which is going to be useful for items later on. Just kind of had to go on here. Berna. I believe she actually does have plot vital stuff.
Hey there! You're one of the students here at the academy, aren't you?
A little more unless she's mistaken. I'm Berna, an instructor here at the academy. If you like, I can give you a quick tutorial on how to use your map and journal. Oh, no, sorry. Tough. I can hit M and pull up my map if I want. Let's see what books I have. I like books. Books are great in games, so... And this game's great about books as well. A spell for a bard. And if you right-click things, you pull up this little radial menu, and this is how you look at stuff. Religions of the Sword Coast. The deities of Faerun take an active interest in their world, channeling power through their clerics and other worshippers, and sometimes intervening directly in the affairs of mortals. At the same time, they have their own plots, conflicts, intrigues, and alliances with other deities, powerful mortals and outsiders such as elemental lords and demons. In their pettiness, the deities of the realm appear almost mortal, and some are once mortals who won divine spark through great heroism. Worship is the lifeblood of the god, and a deity can actually die if its believers lose faith. To keep their worship strong, the gods work together with their clerics to recruit new worshippers and keep the flames of faith alive. In return, their clerics are rewarded with spells and other manifestations of the divine will. Many of the deities in Faerun are specific to certain races, such as Korlon Lathian, elves, Moradin, dwarves, or profession, such as Cyric, thieves, and Mysteria, spellcasters. Others hold sway over aspects of nature, such as Umberlee of storms. Some deities are more central to certain locations, such as Helm's Hall, though it's fairly common to see more than one deity honored in large towns, such as Neverwinter's devotion to Tyr and Helm, or Luskin's worship of Oral, Umberlee, and Tempest. That's basically the plan. If I see a book, I'm going to be reading it, because the books are awesome. I might end up going Skyrim on this, and sitting down and just reading and collecting books. Over here is where the fighters train. Has nothing to do with me. Fighters are weird. Right, here's where I need to go. Hello! Alright, so first things first, loot. And that's why I grabbed, Spellcraft, so I can determine what spells are being cast. So that later on I can know what the heck I'm dealing with. So when I get killed from a spell later, I'll know what spell killed me. So through here, the Ruins of Illusk. Alright. The remnants of the ancient city of Illusk stand on the southern shore of Mirror and the sea of Close God Island. All that remains of this once proud city are fusion patterns. Man, these guys are throwing me off. Can you guys cast spells somewhere when I'm not trying to read? Does it have to sound like some undead terror is going on? I think there's a pause somewhere in here. Wait, no, if I pause it won't stop anything. I remember this. Alright, we're gonna grab this for later. We're gonna read it when I can hear myself read. So right here I actually have multiple tabs in my inventory that I can select if I need to have different slots used up. And so long as I don't go way too much, I'm fine. You are throwing me off. Ah. Okay. And she's literally throwing me. I got stuck. I got stuck. Alright, there we go. My character's having issues walking right now. Here's a couple more books. Let's collect these. The Nether Scrolls. And the person who I keep hearing is Jeru asking me to come speak to him so I can do my training, which I'm going to do post-haste because this is really loud and annoying. You guys are assholes.
Hey there. Welcome to my little corner of the academy. I'm Jeru, resident master of the arcane. It's more a ceremonial title than anything else. I'm really just your run-of-the-mill wizard.
Oh, well, so I don't have to listen to you? No doubt you've come here to complete your training. Well, you've got to come to the right place. Nobody at this institution knows more about teaching your apprentices magic than me. Consider this a final tutorial on casting spells before you face the major challenge. Are you ready to begin? No. Let me do it. I know how to use spells. The test is a simple one. See the statue in the center of the room. You destroy it using a spell, and the challenge will be complete. To help you in the task, there are scrolls and whatnot, yeah. Basically, I just gotta blow it up.
Soleno, congratulations! You have shown great control of your magical abilities. Speak to me before you leave.
Alright, now so you gotta talk to this
Your
asshole.
training is done. You should go to the South Assembly Hall to receive a blessing and congratulations from Lady Arabeth.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Alright, see ya. There are probably other books over here, which is where you train if you are a cleric. For your healing spells over here, you can't go yet. Somewhere, I think over here somewhere, where the thieves are allowed to train. Yep. Because they're even training thieves, because you never know. Just so you guys know, you can't die here. Just thought you'd like to see that. Your training can be very serious. Alright. You.
Now that you've finished your training, you can go on into the South Assembly Hall if you want. Lady Arabeth is still granting blessings to all the Academy graduates.
Awesome. Let me ask you... Oh, nope. Can't ask you questions? Alright, we'll get plot somewhere else. Alright, so here we are. Bunch of people here. Lady Arabeth.
Congratulations! Your training here at the Academy is now complete. May the blessing of Tyr be upon you.
Thank you, Lady
I
Arabeth.
have been looking forward to meeting you. The instructors here at the Academy speak very highly of your skills. I am Lady Arabeth de Tilmerand.
Alright.
Perhaps after the graduation ceremonies, we can speak in private. Neverwinter can use someone like you.
Oh. Please, stop.
We should arrange... Wait, what was that? Did you feel it? Brace yourself, we are under attack.
Are we? Alright. Outmaged.
Take that, fools!
Get on my badger. If you are high enough level,
must
you can
speak with you.
probably save one person if you're lucky.
Listen to me! There is not much time! I fear this is no random attack we have suffered.
Really?
As you may already know, a number of creatures were brought from Waterdeep here to the Academy. It was believed the reagents for a spell to create a cure could be extracted from them.
Go on.
We tried to keep this information secret, but this attack reveals our secret is well known, even to our enemies.
Well, fuck.
Neverwinter has many enemies. Some declare themselves openly, such as the city of Luskan. Others keep their identities hidden from us, striking from the shadows.
Dicks.
I do not know who is behind this attack, but it is obvious they are here to destroy our hope of ending the Wailing Death. You
Bigger
must
dicks.
protect the Waterdavian creatures. They must not be allowed to fall into the enemy's hands.
Where can I
I
find
would
them?
take you to the creatures myself if I could, but I fear my presence would make protecting the creatures more difficult, if not impossible.
Really?
Our attackers appeared here in this room. It is likely their arrival was magically centered on me. They must have assumed I would be with the Waterdavian creatures.
Why would they make that
Even now,
assumption?
our enemy may be watching me through magical means, hoping I will lead them right to where the creatures are kept. I cannot take that risk.
But the creatures are kept, like, over there, aren't they?
You must do this alone. Go back through the hallway leading to this room and take the corridor to the east. It leads to the chambers where the Waterdavian beasts are being kept.
Whoa. What? Why? Fine.
Take
Sure,
this key.
Whatever.
It will open the locked east door back in the hallway leading to this room. I will stay here. Hopefully my presence will draw the enemy away from the creatures they seek.
I'm gonna get the hell out of here.
Make your way into the hall, and then to the chambers down the east corridor. That is where the Watadavian beasts are kept.
Why are you yelling?
The fate of Neverwinter depends on you. This key will open the door. May Tyr be with you.
I get that this is important, but you didn't have to start yelling. Like, that hurt my feelings. Thanks. Let's summon my pixie. And yeah, pretty good. Oh, wait. Forgot to cast later or something. Gonna need that. Let's go. Training halls.
This? I was expecting Aribet.
I will take
I like how my pixie just like was instantly like, you're attacking me. Well, that was easy. Any drops? Any loops? Don't wait for the corpse to disappear to see. Hi ho, off to the treasure. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm not getting through there. Or am I getting through there? Everything in here is trapped, and as much as I'd like to loot in it, I'm not even gonna try it, because I will die. So, see, in here there should be some goblins. It's not necessary to clear the goblins out, may not even be recommended. I like doing it though.
Your remains shall decorate my home.
I forgot I made my character so evil sounding. I like how everyone in here, including the great people, were killed by little weak goblins. There's some irony in there. I don't know where, but it's there. Look, there's the fighters were killed. These things can't even take a crossbow shot. It's just silly. Oh, remains. This is what I was looking for. Some basic loot. Look at that. How was he killed by these things? It doesn't make any sense. Got some weird creatures, but not gonna deal with those. I like killing goblins. Makes me feel important. I like how easy the goblins are to kill, too. I'm not that impressive. I mean, I shouldn't... Why do NPCs have to be non-competent? Look at this, they killed this shopkeeper. I couldn't imagine him killing him with all the crap he had on him. You just need to pull out, like, a greatsword, and then he'll, on average, do more damage than they can take. Since I'm pretty sure I killed him with a 2 earlier. Oh, wow. Well, he's dead. Any goblins? No? Cool. Alright. Is that Pim? That's Bim, I believe. Alright, well, let's go on. Do. But a little bit of free experience this way. Bit more starting loots, which is always nice. If you hit C, you can pull up your character sheet to anybody who even cares. Alright, so we're cleared out the area. Let's go and deal with these No, I did not clear out in here. Or did I? Bullets. I don't know what I need a bullet for, but I suppose if I ever pick up a sling, I'll be fine. Alright, so... just kind of ran around, killed some stuff. Here's the door you're supposed to go through. Basically, you get trolled throughout the entire Prelude. Until the end of it. Let's go. He doesn't actually fight. He just wusses out at the last second. Jesus Christ, my pixie is doing damage. Oops. Drink a potion. There we go. What's funny, it doesn't even matter if you get the early experience, because the game gives you experience. Might as well equip it. More potions of cure light wounds. Pavel, how are you, my old friend?
Thank the gods you're here. I thought those goblins were going to be the death of me.
So did I. It's me, Pavel, remember? This whole place is crawling with enemies. They killed my brother Blim. Please, Lomir, you have to let me join up with you. Everyone needs help from someone once in a while, and someone whose skills you don't have, or sometimes you just need some extra muscle or magical firepower. That's why most towns have places you can go and hire henchmen to join up with you. When you talk to them, they'll be quick to offer their services for a fee. But I'm not asking you to pay me anything. I just want to join up with you so I can avenge Bim's death, and maybe get out of here alive. Okay. I'll follow you and use my skills to help you out. If you ever want to give me more specific instructions, just speak to me. I'll change my tactics accordingly. I got a mind of my own, but you're the one in charge. I need your help too. If I get hurt, I might need you to heal me. If you can't cast healing spells, use a potion to heal me. And drag one to me from the inventory and I'll use it. Now let's get out of here. Awesome. Any good books? There's a sound burst, so I have another Drew... I was going to say Drew. Another Bard spell. Books. Arcane Brotherhood. So I'll put that there. And I'm probably going to end up encumbered, so what's going to happen is I'm going to read all my books right before I leave. And then you can skip that if you want. This is a desk. I have a tendency to double click things because I'm weird. Either way you go, there's fighting. I'm going to be looping around anyways, so... My badger is leaving a lot to be desired in the fighting department. Which is kind of sad. The pixie's doing way too good of a job here. At least with the goblins. Wand of Fire. Awesome. Cool. My next spell is going to be Burning Hands, so that I can start actually doing some real damage. Oops. Aha! Take that! I love it as a skeletons running around. It's just like, we're skeletons, that's what we do. We just run around. Look like assholes all day. Pixies just sound good. I like my character. He has no problem trying to shoot your pop with that. Alright, map. You're a map, you're a map, you're a map, you're a map. Alright. Just kind of head in here. Aw, what dicks. They were dead after the first spear. Why put the second one in them? That's just adding insult to injury. I'm nervous about traps, but less nervous than I should be. Well, way more nervous than I should be, I should say. I meant to say, not I should say. And I have no idea why. Because later on it's going to be scary to have to deal with traps all the time. Is there something on the ground here? Just a doorway. My pixie will be able to detect them for me happily. Dude, you look like really worn out.
Many fierce enemies await you beyond this door. You will need to draw upon all you have learned here at the Academy to survive.
Okay. Alright. You don't need to teach me how to level up. Don't worry. Sorcerer. Let's just add to the skills. There's anything I could say, the reason why you might grab a package is so you don't ever have to do this ever again. Ever. Which is nice. 1d4 cold damage, might as well. And I can't get any more spells here. So okay. Yuppers. Looks good to me. And now I need to sit down and rest, which I can just hit R to do if there aren't enemies nearby. And there are enemies nearby because there are actually enemies in this hallway coming down. But if I just run and... I always find this hitting R constantly helps. There we go. And you can rest at any time that you want to, and there's really no penalty to resting. It makes playing a sorcerer nice, because your DM isn't telling you constantly you can't rest, you have no spells, you have to fight it off with the knife. I'm that kind of DM. There you go. Anyway. How long does my mage armor last? Examine. Last 1 hour per level? Oh, nice. Anamoy. Summon my creature. Hello, Mr. Summon Dire Badger. You get some mage armor too. And I'm gonna use up all my first level spells because I have no damage. Now everyone's all buffed up. Now down here is where my bar is, and pretty much I don't need any of these down here except these. Let's assign a spell here. Basically just use your radial menu to find your spell, and then you assign it. Simple as that. And you can hit the F3s and the F keys. I never use F keys. It's probably a bad habit, but I don't like reaching up for the F keys. So, I'm going to be clicking. As a mage, I should probably be playing with a top-down view as well, but I don't care. Oh, Jesus Christ. Fine, stand there like an asshole. I don't care. There's some arrows. An undefined gauntlet, which if I pick up... This is what the lore skills were. No, piss off. I'll collect these, and if I get 100 of them, I can sell them for like 1 gold. Yay. I like to be greedy, but I also know that I'm going to end up over-encumbered if I keep this up. Bolts, which I actually need. Bull strength. More bolts. Some gold pieces. Now let's go to here, and I should be able to right-click, examine. And when you examine it, if you have a high enough lore skill, it'll tell you what it is immediately. If not, you can go and get it examined and checked out at a shop, which I think costs like 10 gold per item or something like that. Usually it's worth it, They're not stingy on the loot. Let's go in here. Oh god. I like how we decided that my allies decided that the people down there looked too dangerous. Alright, Pixie, you are a dick. I don't know if it was you, it was probably the fucking Badger. Badgers are assholes. But don't be too much of an asshole. I don't want to get into a huge fight and die. Should probably start looking at my weight. 21 pounds? Oh, I'm actually pretty light. Scrolls are really useful if you use them. I know that sounds like a weird thing to say, but it's true. If you use the scrolls, they're actually really useful. They're as useful as they are in normal D&D. Don't have to use a spell slot, that kind of fun stuff. I'm going to be using them liberally very later on, but for now, I probably will never use them. At least not for like the first couple modules. Alright, let's go in here. Hello. Fuck you. You in your face. You're a fucking asshole. Look at him, he's trying to jump scare me. I just like watching my Pixie take on everything. I mean, its AC's gotta be like 22 or something. If not higher, it's really tiny, so... I believe I already have the Nether Scrolls. Nether Scrolls Doombringer? Do I have Doombringers? I do not. Ender Elements. Ooh, that's a nice one. Alright. Famous citizens of the Sword Coast. I am going to be reading a lot to you guys after this. Alchemist Apparitions. Apparatus. I love these things. This is where you usually find a good number of potions. Most of which you're probably going to sell. Just being honest. I might keep them on me because of the saying, bring potions or die. There are 3 rules to D&D. Bring potions or die, save or suck, wall jump or starve. These 3 rules in D&D have kept me alive for countless campaigns, and they are the 3 tenets that my players must always think of whenever I'm running a campaign. Because they're important. No, I always loved the Neverwinter games.
Bring it to me!
More, but you do have moments like this where it's just a lot of you're exploring a map and killing things. There's not random encounters. It's not an RPG. Or JRPG, I should say. There's not random encounters. Everything is set in there. So if you've done it before, it's basically going to be the exact same the next time. And it's just a bit monotonous. Moreover, in areas like this, I have really nothing to talk about. So, there you go. Woo! Hi. Ready for the boss fight? I hope so. Oh, what a dick. Wow. We slaughtered the hell out of that guy. Take that, your corpse is now frozen in hell. Wand of Sleep. Haha, that doesn't work on me. Ooh, a fire gate. Now the drops are random from these chests. You can get some really good ones. Some of them are preset, but a lot of the time, it's if there's a preset one, it's preset, and then they'll give you a couple random drops from the chest as well. That are rolled at the time. Alright everyone, well that was the final boss fight. I hope you didn't think it'd be like some huge climax with epic fighting.
Kill the Dryad! No! I must escape! Free the Yahtzee! My arms are broken!
Everything is dazed! Blindness for everyone! Pick up the remains. Yep. These guys are basically about to be dicks.
We came too late. The creatures are lost. The Academy students slain. No! This cannot be! How could this happen?
They attacked us. I'm pretty sure you know how this happened.
All is lost, Fenthic. The nymph has fled. The Yonti and the other creatures have escaped into the streets of the city. And where was Erebeth during all this?
Fuck. You are the student she sent? Did Erebeth really think a rope such as this could defend the Waterdavian creatures? I don't know where I'm going with this accent, so she could have just come herself. Is she really so blind, Fenthic? Dester, I will have you speak no more ill of Lady Erebeth. She did what she thought was best. But I know the feelings you have and Lady Erebeth have for each other. It does nothing to change the facts. She was wrong to bring the creatures here. I'll leave you with your lady love to clean up this mess, Fenthic. I must go and make arrangements to recover the cure that Erebeth has successfully lost.
I need to speak to you.
Words. Pavel, I owe you my life. Without you, I couldn't have made it out here. I could have died just like my brother. You got what it takes to be a great hero, Lawmere. Even a great legend, but this life isn't for me. I know that now. Yeah, you just have to stick with it, Pavel. All I could think of out there is how I was afraid of dying. I wanted to curl up in a corner and close my eyes to everything. Those aren't the thoughts of a hero. Thank you once more for saving me. You're a great hero someday. I don't want to risk my neck for fame or fortune.
I'm no hero. I just want a nice, quiet life. I doubt our paths will cross again anytime soon. Goodbye, and good luck.
Alright, well, that's how you feel. That's how you feel. There's nothing I can do about that.
You must forgive Dester. The strain of the Wailing Death weighs heavily on the Helmites.
Alright.
As their leader, Dester has worked long and hard to help ease the suffering of Neverwinter. And this most recent setback has upset him greatly.
Alright.
I'm Fenthic Moss, priest of Tyr and companion of the Lady Erebeth. You must be the student Erebeth told me about.
Yep. I am Lomir. Dester and I have arrived with reinforcements shortly after the attack began. We found Erebeth in the South Assembly Chamber, hard pressed by dozens of the mysterious assailants. We managed to drive off the attackers, and Erebeth told us she had sent one of the students on ahead to defend the Waterdavian creatures. While Erebeth tended to the wounded, one of the mages who had arrived with the reinforcements teleported Dester and me to this room. Alas, we arrived to find the cages unturned and the creatures fleeing. Is the battle over? A few straggling goblins are all that remain of our attackers, but I fear we've lost this battle. The Waterdavian creatures are gone. We have no clue as to who planned the attack, and I doubt any prisoners we take will know anything about who is truly behind this. In any case, discovering their identity is secondary. Our first priority should be to recapture the Waterdavian creatures so that we may extract a cure for the Wailing Death. Sure, I'll help you out. From all accounts, you are a capable man, Lomir. Erebeth told me of the instructors of the Academy spoke very highly of you. I do not know what role you are to play in this, Lomir. That is my Lady Erebeth decide. You must meet her at the Halls of Justice in the coming week. Lady Erebeth will have more information for you then. Hopefully, we'll have a better understanding of what we're up against. We must all do our part, Lomir. Alright. Let me ask you some questions. Time is of the essence. Tell me about yourself. I am a servant of Tyr, nothing more, nothing less. I serve Neverwinter as my duty, and my heart weeps as the city suffers. Are you her lovers? You are of one heart, it is true. Is it surprising? We're both disciples of Tyr, we're both servants of Neverwinter. Hey, I wasn't saying anything was bad about her. Tell me about her. Shining light, you must guide her away. She is a paladin of Tyr, and only her courage and devotion to Neverwinter surpass her grace and beauty. Nice. Dester? Nope. Sorry. 4. Dester is a good man, though the Wailing Death weighs heavily on him. He does not serve Tyr as my Lady Erebeth or I do, but his devotion to Helm is most admirable. Dester and his Helmites have been tireless in their efforts to offer what comfort they can to the afflicted of the plague. Alright. Tell me more about them. Erebeth's the only one who knows about them. Alright, I will meet you in a week. There's much to attend to in the coming week. Erebeth and I will meet you at the temple. May Tyr's blessings be upon you. Alright, so you get 2 level ups through this. So let's go ahead and level up real quick. And this is the end of the prelude to the series. I love Neverwinter Nights quite a bit. I love the story, even though the gameplay can get pretty goddamn boring after a while. Really repetitive, especially if you're playing like I am, and cancel that. Oh god. What should I get? I don't want Scribe Scroll. I don't need Shield Proficiency. When can I get Augment Summoning is the question. Arcane Defense. +2 against the School of Magic. Combat Casting. I could cast defensively better. Greater Spell Focus. Oh. Always with the spell focuses. I don't think spell focus is actually worth it, to be honest with you. Not for conjuration, because that's 2 DCs. But it will be useful for me later. I think for now, I should probably go with either greater spell focus or combat casting, but I think combat casting is going to be more useful to me. I grabbed spell focus for conjuration mostly so I can get augment summoning, which will increase my stats of my summoned creature. If this plays exactly the same way normal D&D does, which I hope it does. And if I'm wrong, feel free to comment. Burning Hands is what I was going to get. Burning Hands is a transmutation. I'm sticking with my pixie. Done. I'm going to rest real quick so I can desummon everything. And then I'm going to read to you guys. Alright, so if you don't want to listen to the books that I've collected, because I have 7 of them to read, then go ahead and just leave now. If you wish to hear more about the series, I might do more lore on it when I get around to that. If you wish to see more, feel free to comment and subscribe. Anything I did wrong, tell me. This is my first time doing a major Let's Play. Any suggestions, comments, anything, feel free to put them below the video. And feel free to leave right now if you want to. I'm going to put a subscribe button somewhere on the screen for you if you want to subscribe to me and see more. And I'm going to go ahead and read the books now, and you can leave if you want. The first book is The Doombringers. The world was not always as it is now. There was a time before time, when the land was shaped by the will of the greater races. These were not gods, but the power and magic they wielded was greater than anything seen since. For ages they ruled unchallenged, but at the time of the Great Cooling a new threat emerged. The new races, the lesser beasts that would become you and I, had grown in confidence and power and began asserting themselves on the land. One of the creator races, their name is now lost to the waste, and let it never be found or spoken again, turned its awesome power to conquest, and brought forth the great warrior machines. They were fearsome to behold, and there was no doubt of their intent. They were the Doombringers, and they would unleash devastating power upon the world. The young races should have been trampled underfoot, but fate intervened. The masters of the Doombringers had seen their empire pushed to the edge of the realms, past the peaks of what they would become in the spire of the world. They huddled in the lonely mountains, waiting for the old glory to return. But this race had upset the greater balance with their war machines, taking away the very life force of the earth around them. They did not heed the groaning of the stone until their greatest halls and vaults fell around them and closed them underneath the earth. Entombed, the creators could not mind their Doombringers, and now standing idle before the forces that would destroy them, the lesser races, the earlier of us, but not yet us. The earliest of us, but not yet us. They were ants beneath the giants, but slowly brought down upon them. It was victory, but it was only an intention of the masters that allowed it. They would not slay the buried. The threat would surely come again, and all that lived in fear, until the forgetting. Song and tale have passed the legends of the earliest times, but much has been lost, and now we have gained a foothold amongst the giants. All we really know now is that we are the masters, the creators of things and grand and beautiful, and whatever came before is gone. There are ants beneath our feet that we think nothing of, but it is best to remember that we were once they, and above us were the beings greater than we shall ever be. Let us be mindful, not look away, lest our own doombringers fall. Exciting. Next up is famous citizens of the Sword Coast. The Sword Coast North is home to some of the most noteworthy personalities of the realms. Many won their fame with the deeds of great honor, but others are known for the depths of depravity and wickedness. The officers of Neverwinter fall into the first camp: Lord Nash Alagandar, Lady Terbeth de Tillamand, Watch Knight Desha Indalade, and Abbot Finthick Moss are celebrated for their kindness and wisdom, and each of these heroes have taken the safety of Neverwinter at his or her sacred duty. On the more sinister side, the 5 High Captains of Luskan are some of the most cruel and ruthless warriors in the region. High Captain Terl, Baram, Kurth, Suljak, and Renthar, each vicious combatants, and together they enforce their will with mercilessness and efficiency. Most powerful and feared spellcasters of Sword Coast are the members of the Arcane Brotherhood of Luskan. Among their numbers are Jula Arath, Arna the Claw, Deltagar Delhund. Little is known of the Brotherhood's actual rule in governing Luskan and the surrounding areas, and the massive members themselves loathe to discuss their activities. The untamed lands outside the cities hold countless other instances of fame and infamy alike. King Abold Many-Arrows, for instance, reigns over his orc tribes with his iron fist, while such well-known rakes ne'er-do-wells as Eleth, the Serpent, Crawlber, move constantly from hamlet to hamlet to avoid detection. There you go. I hate reading names. I hate reading weird names. Wind by the Fireside. Wind by the Fireside is a poem that has changed much over the ages. That much is clear to those who have studied it. But it is not much known about how much it has been altered or why the alterations have been taken place. Many scholars assume these changes are representative of the natural evolution of language, as well as modern innovations of style. Little is known about the actual history of the poem, though some believe it to have some bearing upon the creator races of Faerun. Others speculate it may have been written as an ode by the follower of some ancient religion. The popular version sung in Neverwinter is noted as the following, though some other regions have variations on the theme. So as you shiver in the cold and in the dark, look into the fire and see it spark, my eye watching over you. As you walk in the wind's whistling claws, listen past the howling of the wolves' jaws. My song comes to you. And when you're lost in trackless snow, look up high where eagles go. My star shines for you. In deep dark mind or on crumbling peak, hear my words of love I speak. My thoughts are with you. You are not forsaken, you are not forgotten. The north shall not swallow you, the snow cannot bury you. I will come for you, Faerun will grow warmer, and the gods will smile. But oh my love, guard yourself well. All this may not happen for a long, long while. Alright. Next up is Luskan's Arcane Brotherhood. The dangers of a Lusk pale in comparison to the host tower of the Arcane, the home of the Arcane Brotherhood. This magically created stone structure is built to resemble a giant tree or an open human hand. It rises into a central spire surrounded by 4 spires at the points of the compass, all of equal height, and each bristles with many lesser spires, balconies, and branching turrets. The Arcane Brotherhood is a mercantile company and a spellcasters guild. It maintains several safe houses in Luskan and other cities of the north, and at least one fortress somewhere in the mountains north and east of Luskan. The host tower, however, is the seat of its strength. Gonna get a drink. There we go. Hard information on the upper echelons of the Arcane Brotherhood is very difficult to come by. It is clear, though, that some of the senior wizards have recently been destroyed or trapped in the forms from which they cannot escape, communicate, or work magic. Some have been moved behind the scenes, and some have left the Brotherhood to pursue their own aims, lichdom, mastery in the other lands or planes of existence, and so on. Even still, it should be noted that the current activities of the Zealotum, the Cult of the Dragon, and the Red Wizards, they reveal they have not managed to place agents or even spies in any positions of importance within the Brotherhood. The Brotherhood has been known to change with menacing rapidity, and its internal feuds tend to be deadly. Travelers are advised to avoid even coming to the attention of this evil, manipulative group. 3 more books to go, people. I'm just gonna move the books I've read up here. I plan on destroying the books when I'm done with them. Wars of the Creator Races. In the ancient days, before the rise of the creator races, great wars were fought by the creator races. Of the created races. In the ancient days, before the rise of the created races, great wars were fought by the creator races, the reptile creatures, the amphibians, and the avians people. Though most of the wars were fought against other races, many were fought between themselves as well. They sought to gain dominance over one realm or another. Only a few tales from this time survive. One recounts a group of reptile creatures that betrayed their own kind for the sake of control over a powerful temple. The traders used the trust of the simple townsfolk to infiltrate the temple area, and then used the raw force to breach the temple's defenses, murdering the loyal guardians before seizing control of the site. Once in control of the temple, the city's rulers were caught and slain, and the attackers seized the reins of the whole city. Their efforts were for naught. Within a year, the city was burned to the ground by an army of the Avians people. So they take a temple, and the Avians are like, no, fuck you. Alright. The Nether Scrolls. Long ago, an unknown adventurer... I'm going to read in a different voice. Long ago, an unknown adventurer discovered a set of magic writings that held vast secrets of magic. These writings came to be called the Nether Scrolls. Taken together, they granted insight into the mysteries of spellcasting, the creation of magic items and constructs, the relations of structures and the structure of planes, and even the making of artifacts. Although all the Nether Scrolls were lost or stolen over the following 2,000 years, by then the information they contained had changed Netherese society forever. The Lords of Netheril developed forms of magic never before seen in the world. The Mythala was an invention by the Netherase wizard Loam that gave power to nearby items, negating the need for expenditure of a spellcaster's energy to create magic items. The Mythala also allowed the creation of the flying cities, formed by slicing off and inverting the top of a mountain. Netheril's people took to the skies in these flying enclaves of magic, safe from human barbarians and hordes of evil humanoids. Every citizen wielded mined magic, and Netherese traded with nearby elven and dwarven nations, expanding the reach of the empire greatly. Good to know. Finally, we have reached the ruins of Alusk. The remnants of the ancient city of Alusk stand on the southern shore of Mirror, in the lee of Coastguard Island. All that remains of the once proud city are a few shattered towers and toppled statues, choked with the creepers and thick brush. These ruins are bound to the north by Luskan's busy market, and to the south by the city's noisy slums, and bisected by the Dark Walk, the street that leads to the Dark Arch. The Dark Walk is named for the haunted reputation that clings to the ruins of Alusk. Fear of the magical traps and guardians and monsters, as well as the sleepless undead, has left most of the tombs and treasure undisturbed. Still, a few enterprising rogues have escaped the ruins with spellbooks, scrolls, magic armor, and rich caches of gems and coins. The dead far outnumber these lucky few, though. The Luskanites have been saying, only the most desperate try to rob the dead of Alusk. Luskanites rarely brave the overgrown northern ruins, and even in the full light of day there are persistent rumors of slave trading, kidnapping folk, and taking them below, a fate often threatened by unruly children by the Luskanite mothers. No known maps of the underground chambers and passages exist. No Luskanite will admit to knowing their ways. Alright, that is all the books. Have a good one.